Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of the Security Table. This is Chris Romeo, joined as always by Matt Coles, Izar Tarandosh. These are big AI thinkers, people. They think about AI as much as an LLM does.
Which is not at all.
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Hey, that would be a nice book.
I should write a book called that.
Right?
What
And
an
eventually
idea.
a movie.
Yeah, I think you can make a good movie out of that.
And then another bad movie that's set 50 years in the future. After
And a couple of horrible video games. I think you got something there, Chris.
I got a franchise.
Wait, where's my Claude? Wait.
Yeah, I'm going to have Claude write the script for me real quick. Or should I write the book first? I don't know. Will Claude write a full book at this point?
Yes.
If I tell it to just write me a fictional book that's 300 pages?
Last week I have to confess, I am a subscriber to Kindle Unlimited because I have this strange compulsion to read books. And
you read books these days?
Yeah, and you get millions of books by free. And I fell into a well of alternate history military fiction. So think the Nimitz, that Nimitz movie where it goes back to World War II, but variations of the theme. And I fell into this one where an aircraft carrier goes back to Mexico in 1519.
Oh.
And it starts nice. But you're reading the thing and then you start seeing those telltales. Those, it's not this, it's that. Those, And I was getting this uncanny valley feeling of a person did not write this book. So
I'm working on my first number one hit right now. With
how do you churn out 1 million books at a time? You press a button.
So basically, but now I keep thinking to myself, remember those guys that do those detective stories, the B. Richard Saden or whatever.
The Hardy Boys.
Yeah. No. The other one, the
Sherlock Holmes.
What we used to call airport books.
Yeah,
they already put out 6 a year or something.
Oh, you mean trash fiction.
Yeah. So imagine how much is going to start coming out using AI.
Listen, it already is. My book is cooking.
It'll be slop fiction.
Slop fiction! You heard the term first here.
As opposed to pulp fiction. Slop fiction.
Oh, now that's a parody I would pay to see.
Oh, man. Claude just ripped off a book I'm reading for my book. I'm not kidding.
All you have to do is you have to modify a little bit and then you can copyright it.
Well, the name of my first book is The Long Quiet. So get ready. That's it.
Long Quiet.
It's working on the chapters.
Are you making one will be movie ready and you can do
I should have told it. I should have put that in the prompt. Dang it. I didn't do that. I just told it to write me a book and it's creating me a 90,000 word fictional sci-fi book. And it's like, do you have a premise? I'm like, no, I got no premise. I got nothing. So just make it.
If it has any sense, the names of the chapters will be Short Silence 1, Short Silence 2, Short Silence 3. And together they make a Long Quiet.
Just silence at the end.
I like that.
Yeah. Dot.
Man, I might hire you.
And the rest.
Guy.
No. And the final line of the book is going to be, and the rest was silence.
you need to have the premise. A tech mogul goes and buys a farm in the woods. What can go wrong?
Thanks for calling me a tech mogul.
Isn't that how The Last of Us starts?
It's how every Neil Stephenson book starts.
Yeah.
True, very true. But he has to be digging for something in the farm. The farm
I got to work in A Quiet Place as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
just because that movie was brilliant. I was like a ignorer of A Quiet Place for years and years. I'm like, it can't be that good. And then I'm on an airplane a year or two ago. I'm like, fine, I'm going to watch it. I'm like, wow, that was actually really good.
And then you need to
that's-
work in The Last of Us, of course, because that's
Wait.
like the thing. So
That's the one where the aliens came out for sound.
Yeah, so there's no sound in the whole thing. There's no dialogue in the whole movie.
I could use one of those aliens when I was in the dorms at university.
It just rips through and takes your roommate away.
Yeah.
Except you got to be able to control it. That's the only problem.
Life goes. I'll just.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we did actually have something to talk about before I derailed this with
we did.
my future New York Times bestseller.
there you go.
What was it called? The Long Quiet.
The Long Quiet.
For the media tour, I have to memorize some of these pertinent facts about the name of the book and what it's about.
Well, you just have the media talk to your agent, right? Because
Ooh. How far away are we from I have the little AirPod in my ear and the agent is telling me what to say and I'm just
it's available now,
what,
isn't it?
Oh, that's
No,
the
it is.
delay. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to just start talking like the AI was a teleprompter in my ear.
No,
So
it's not this, it's that.
there's this guy.
This guy.
Linus, I think is what he goes by.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's
Linus
how
Torvalds.
That's how we're going to get viewers, by mangling the name of the famous creator.
Yeah. Nerds everywhere just pick at us and hold up signs.
Come on, people, we're security.
Say his name. Yeah.
It's Linus
All
as in GIF.
Yes, correct. At least you said that right. All right. So
Wait, it's not GIF?
No,
please
that's
don't
Linus.
start this again. Look in the file format, people. Analyze the first block of the file, and that will tell you what it's called.
Yes. Whatever's written
Because
on the terminal when you write
There
file
is a
something.
JIF in the block in the file header. I promise. At least there used to be. They probably took it out now. Okay, so
Well, it's a .gif extension.
our friend Linus came out about 6 months ago with some harsh words for AI, saying it was basically 90% of AI. This is October 2024. The Register referred to him as the Linux Kingpin, which is kind of it'd be a cool like X handle or whatever. The Linux Kingpin.
He kind of is. I mean,
He is.
he created the thing.
That has like a criminal kind of connotation, though. And I think Kingpin. I think
yeah,
It's
the
better than
Kingpin.
the Emperor
mob,
Penguin,
yeah.
True.
but he's
a good
been
point.
called that too.
But in October 2024, he came out and said 90% of AI is marketing hype. Which I think in October 2024, he probably was pretty close to right. Because there was a lot of fear mongering and whatnot about how AI was going to make your job go away. And I think I don't feel like people are as afraid of that now as they were. Matt's kind of shaking his head like he might be afraid that AI is going to replace him. Now I'm concerned.
Have you
I'm
seen?
concerned that if
Have you
he
seen some of the
replaces us, it's
frontier
not going to
model
be
work?
good.
It just actually, I mean, it's not really. I guess it's not really AI replacing us. It's companies replacing us with AI.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're
That's
saying
true.
there.
It's
No, I'm
HR.
kidding. I'm kidding.
It's HR replacing us with AI.
There you go.
Why
Let's
don't-
see as you.
I got an idea. Why don't we take it back? Why don't we replace HR with AI?
Don't tell them the plan.
HR. Ugh.
Nothing to see here,
Gross.
HR people. Nothing to see here.
There's
Keep
no one
going.
from HR
Keep
listening
moving.
to this.
Yeah.
No,
There's
no
way.
HR. Why would people listen to us?
Why would anybody
Uh,
listen to us? That's a more important question.
How many
Why do I listen
How
to
many
myself?
agents do we have listening to us? Because that would
Hopefully
be
a lot.
Yeah.
So
need a
I'm going to
separate
tell you guys,
stat.
I went back into the comments on YouTube, and we actually have a fan from Brazil
Ooh.
Okay.
How do you know?
because he said, I'm here from Brazil. This is how you do right attribution, people.
This is how you build a community too, by
Exactly.
interacting with each commenter one
Yes,
by one,
yeah.
because there's only a few. Okay,
So-
so why is this such a big deal? Well, Linus is or Linus, depending on how you pronounce it.
He's kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, he's the creator of the Linux kernel and still the chief maintainer of the Linux kernel. So He's not just somebody with an open source library that 5 people have downloaded somewhere.
That's me.
I mean,
That's me.
This is somebody who's kind of a big deal in the world of open source. And so he's quoted also in this article as saying he was willing to absolutely put my foot down as a top level maintainer. Linux is not one of those anti-AI projects, and if someone has issues with that, they can do the open source thing and fork it. So I don't think he actually meant that they could create an alternate copy of the Linux kernel. I think he might have had some other.
I think he did.
But I think it also had some kind of.
I don't know. I think that for him to tell somebody to fork it in the first sense is much more offensive than the second sense. Because in the first sense, in the first sense, is basically saying, "Go and do a better job than I do."
Yeah, that kind of hurts your feelings.
The other one is sort of like, yeah,
that's true. Or just walk away.
Yeah.
And then he described AI as a tool just like other tools we use. It's clearly a useful one. It may not have been that clearly even just a year ago, but it's no longer in question today. Anybody who has doubts that clearly hasn't actually used it.
And then he goes ahead and hacks on the maintainers. A little dig at the maintainers, probably, because it's not like natural intelligence is always that great either.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta agree with the man there.
In other words, we all make mistakes, and the AI makes mistakes,
or we all write bad code.
Which we do, because that's why there's a maintainers group, and that's why there's bug fixes, and
I would say
how many kernel flaws have been found recently.
The other thing that he kind of to wrap up what he said, and I quote, "Something happened a month ago and the world switched. Now we have real reports. All open source projects have real reports that are made with AI, but they're good and they're real." So what he's referring to, correct me if I'm wrong, but bug reports and whatnot that are being either found, bugs are being found and the report is being drafted but written by AI and then submitted. Mm-hmm. It sounds like he has identified a switch where it was garbage in, garbage out a few months ago, and all of a sudden those bug reports are of value. Now, is this the rise of Fable/Mythos class models that's doing this, or is this something else?
It's probably related to that. We've seen this before with curl, right? Curl famously, I think, was getting inundated with garbage reports, right? AI slop. And I think they eventually shut down their bug bounty program because they were getting so many crappy reports. And then one day I remember seeing that curl said they actually had a valid submission, hopefully at least one, that came from an AI based report. So, the models have evolved and they're becoming more accurate now, especially like Mythos and some of the newer ones that are, able to do not only advanced reasoning, but actually do exploit generation. Right? So not only can it report a bug, but it can actually have the exploit code to demonstrate that the bug is real.
Have you guys been tracking these new Chinese models?
Like Kimi that just dropped. Yep.
Apparently they don't have the same guardrails. Izar loves the word guardrails. That's why I use it so often in regards to LLMs. But whereas I saw somebody post something on X that had just gotten access to Kimi and said, while OpenAI and Anthropic, he was hitting cyber guardrails is what he referred to it as.
Yep.
In Kimi, it was wide open.
It has to be said that OpenAI and Anthropic did say that their guardrail sensitivity was dialed up quite some numbers for now.
Yeah. Because my understanding, Fable, if I understand correctly, I don't know all the details, but if Fable 5 is basically like Mythos in terms of how it operates, and it falls back to Opus and things when it triggers one of the guardrails, because otherwise it could do things like create bioweapons.
But again, it's funny, this whole thing, because it's not like it's creating bioweapons, right? It's in there already.
It's
The
giving you
question is,
the ability, the knowledge, if you don't know how to do it, to potentially do it.
right. So I was listening to this podcast the other day, and it was two very, very smart guys discussing how they are building the science lab of the future. So they're training their own models with what's it called? RL. I forget what the R stands for. And they were actually hooking up the models to a PCI bus that's connected to a lot of lab equipment. And they actually had the models create whole chains of experiments that they could run way faster than people and learn from the experiments, from the results of the experiments, to the point that they could predict the result of an experiment. So that reduced, I think that's the first place that they were going with, was material science. That reduced the loop of creating a new material from 6 months to 4 days.
Wow.
Now, in here, we are talking about experiments. We are talking about real instruments in a lab doing real science, feeding back into the model, and the model actually learning from that. So apart from the sheer coolness of the whole thing, it's freaking scary, because that's the kind of thing that creates a bioweapon, right? Not some kid going into Claude.ai and typing, "Hey, how do I make anthrax for my school project?"
And it just made me think about remember the Anarchist Cookbook? I'm sure you guys had a copy.
I can't remember it because I didn't read it, because I was never exposed to it on the internet. But let's say that I did.
That's a really good admission of non-guilt. That was good.
That's exactly what somebody who read the Anarchist Cookbook would say.
Exactly.
Let's go with the hypothetical that we did. Yeah.
But think about how many copies of that existed.
At least 10.
And how many people made Molotov cocktails? Because I believe it did tell you in there how to make a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, I think
it's
did.
been rumored, yes.
Yeah. But how many people made Molotov cocktails? Some percentage, but it's not like 50% of people that read the Anarchist Cookbook. And because a Molotov cocktail is actually pretty easy to make. It doesn't take a lot.
Let me stop you there for a second.
A lot of science, please.
Let's go back to the beginning. We were talking about The Last of Us. We were talking about, I don't think that we did The Walking Dead, but we were on that area.
Love the early seasons of Walking Dead.
In those movies, how many scenes show you step by step how to make a Molotov cocktail? So
True.
It's not like the knowledge is not out there, right?
It's when it comes to napalm, that's when you have a problem. You can't find that.
That too. But I actually draw the line at fusion reactors in the backyard. But so the knowledge is out there, right? So going back to models again, it's not like, how do I make this bad thing so that I can use it in my school project? It's about having the resources to actually do the bad thing.
By the way, my science project, I think it is. If bad 80s from the movie, well, a really good 80s sci-fi movie where they built a nuclear bomb.
I thought that you were talking about the one where
project.
I think it's my science project.
You're not talking about Weird Science.
No, not Weird Science.
It's the best science related.
Is the best science fair movie ever.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the best school project that you can actually have. But
so people will have to look up the people have to Google
we're not going there.
The plot.
But my point is that
and then Real Genius, of course.
Real Genius.
Real Genius.
Oh, Real Genius is the one of those. Yeah. So we have all this knowledge available. LLMs may just be making things easier to find, but for our intents and purposes, the searching of bugs and whatnot, it's not like the older models can't do that. It's just that you have to point them in very, very, very pointed ways to go and find stuff, right? The new ones, they are more quote unquote dangerous because apparently you are able to say, hack this thing, make no mistakes. They do have a lot more, for the lack of a better word, agency to go and search for
Yeah.
issues.
But what's the point of these guardrails in the U.S.-centric models if an attacker can just go to China and use Kimi or one of these other things that have no guardrails? Like, why are we limiting? Because you're limiting defenders in the same way that you're limiting attackers.
I'm going to go with security tier.
The Manhattan Project was the name of the movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
1986.
Which is very different from Oppenheimer. But
yes, very different.
Yeah. But so I'm going to go with security tier. I mean, first they make you feel bad because, these super weapons are out there and they're going to end humanity as we know it, which may not be a bad thing. And then they come with, we saved everybody because now we have these guardrails in place, and no, if you're not American, you can't use this because America, right? So, yeah, I'm going to go with security tier. In the end, it's what you're saying. It's just slowing people down. And we have seen a bunch of very smart people working with the resources that we already have, doing very good work.
So what happens if Anthropic and OpenAI just open the floodgates here? Do we have like a 30-day sprint of a nightmare, or a nightmare sprint, where there's so many bug reports coming in so fast of critical vulns that open source maintainers are overwhelmed, commercial software companies can't keep up, and there's a Wild West period where vulnerabilities are being exploited and without any fixes? Is that what would happen if they open this up?
I mean, that's what that Acrides Foundation is for, right? The Linux Foundation Acrides project is to try and get ahead of that, because there are so many vulnerability reports coming out of these models. If you open the floodgates and make it economical for folks, bad actors or others, to use these models, right? Because you still have to pay for those. You have to still make use of them. You have to potentially pay a subscription or have hardware. Most, I guess, sort of goes back to the discussion, that we've had probably years ago around, so you find a vulnerability, what's the likelihood of exploitation?
Yeah.
Right? You have a need for, there's a need for the attacker, the would-be attacker, and let's not even say the attacker, the would-be attacker, that when you're doing that risk analysis, somebody has to have means, motive, and opportunity, and intent, right? They have to have the ability, the reason, and the desire to do bad things. So if you get access to Fable or Mythos or whatever as a general purpose model, or even the Kimi thing or whatever, are you immediately going to go out and find exploitable vulnerabilities to exploit? I mean,
some percentage of people would.
Yeah, some percentage of people would, and every government probably would, just because that's going to be that's the new self-defense mechanism.
Wait a second. We are looking at the thing, but we are not looking at around the thing. Okay, so the thing is, models find vulnerabilities. Fine, established.
They can be used to find vulnerabilities. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, they do. Cool. The around the thing, and going to what Matt said about the motive and the means. First of all, not everybody is going to have the money to spend on these models, finding those things, because it is an extensive search. It's not, hey, give me a vulnerability. So first of all, you have that. Second, assuming that they are models that are run by some framework or structure that actually cares about it, there is a very large extent of observability on top of what are people doing with my model. So chances are that you're going to trigger something, not a guardrail. You're not going to be told, I can't do that. But some alarm is going to ring somewhere, because words around the discovery of a vulnerability are going to be emitted, and a simple grep is going to find it. We are not talking anything very sophisticated here, but it's going to ring some bells.
You mean it's noisy? It's noisy.
It's noisy. It's noisy as F. But then there is also the actual information warfare theory of the thing here. The fact that you found a vulnerability doesn't mean that you go out and you use it immediately.
Yeah.
These things have a very valuable shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep
Which
it for
are
when you
less
actually
valuable.
need it.
I'd argue less valuable in the age of these new models.
Because
everybody
somebody
can
else
have
could
them.
find it
Right.
and also use it, and then you're screwed. But
or
even-
report it. I mean, or report it, right? Because
but
they could
again-
get money from the reporting.
No, but it goes back. The fact that it's reported doesn't mean that the thing is invalid.
I got a strange.
Walk
Go
with
ahead.
me here. So I'm somebody who found a vulnerability. Okay, very, very high profile one, very, very able to enter into very interesting places. Now, if I'm going to exploit it right now, I have to find a way to mask myself so that there's no coming back to me. I have to find a way to actually exploit it at the places that are going to be most meaningful so that I get the most bang for the buck.
Mm-hmm.
I have to decide on a number of things that would make the using that valuable to me. Now,
Which is
That's
why-
if you want to derive value from it, but you could just drop it into a script and let a script
No,
run it.
this is worm. This is worm
wait.
central. What he just described.
Wait. Now, if I wait 2 weeks and other people discovered it, and they're a bunch of script kiddies, and they did the worm thing, and they started exploiting it everywhere, all of a sudden I don't have to put so much into protecting myself because I'm going to be lost in the noise. We do know that these things do not get fixed initially. It can take, 6 months to a year to fix a critical? So it's
Not
going to
if
be
it's
much
worming.
easier for me to actually exploit that thing.
I mean, if it ends
and
up on the
disappear
kev
in
list
the
or something,
noise.
it's going to be, 7
Right?
days.
That actually being in the first.
No,
So
there's a lot of value to be in the noise.
Exactly.
That's
So
almost you think of that as a strategy. I'm gonna release this vulnerability in a way that other people can find it and start exploiting it, so that I can hide in the noise.
Or you find 2, you release one of them, and while everybody is looking at the left one, you use the right one.
Dude, this is going in my book. Hold on, I gotta stop and take some notes. Hold on, 'cause that's
So-
brilliant.
The thing is, there is a whole almost game theory point to the thing here. That it's not just figuring out the vulnerabilities, when it's going to be used, when it's going to be exploited, what's the value that's going to be obtained from doing it. Now, my point is that nothing tells us to this point that sitting in North Korea there isn't a USB drive with 100 of these in there, and they're just waiting for the right time to use it.
Yeah, but come on, there's. I'm not going to go there. I was going to say something that could have potentially gotten me in trouble. After I've been listening to you go down this train of thought, I had a conclusion hit me, and I'm curious if you guys agree or disagree. The new models that we're seeing now spell the end of bug bounty.
I think that one very interesting thing is that bug bounty is the first frontier where AI is going to fight AI for actual vulnerabilities.
But does it eliminate a company paying an individual some number of thousands of dollars for finding a critical level vulnerability? Because can't you just have the AI, Mythos, look for it in your code base, and you don't have to do it publicly anymore?
So
I think to some extent, I think to some extent, yes. You don't have, a company may not need to pay, have a bug bounty to pay, to pay for people to find issues. Alternatively, okay, it may depend on the size of the company, right? So arguably there's a threshold, a floor for the size of a company that can pay for bug bounty in the first place.
Exactly.
Right. And then those companies, is probably a slim band where it's cheaper for them to pay bug bounties than to run the models to do the bounty themselves. But at some point, it's going to be more cost effective
for the individual. I just thought of this, like the individual is going to have to pay to use a model to do what people would have done by hand in the olden days, the golden age of bug bounty.
And they may not get the same payout that makes it economically feasible.
You'd think the payouts would shrink.
Alternatively,
the payouts would probably shrink.
Yeah. Alternatively, the bug bounty parameters would change to reward the human in the loop part of the discovery. right? So maybe the human is utilizing the AI models for something, but now the report has to be much more precise, and maybe it needs some human impact or needs a business impact as opposed to just a vulnerability line.
There's almost like a business case to be had of should I do a bug bounty as a researcher, because how much is it going to cost me in model in usage charges versus what is if I found a critical vulnerability, what's the reward? I have a feeling those are going to very quickly.
It's kind of like
wait. We are looking at the thing from the very simplistic point of view that, again, the researcher sits in front of the thing that's being bounted and goes, find me a bug, make no mistakes. That's not how it works, right? That's where you get the high spend. But if they use that's a t-shirt. If they use it instead as a tool to help them in their workflow, if they integrate it into their workflow, then the spend in tokens is going to be much smaller because they are applying the experience that they already have in reconnaissance, in figuring out the threat model, in figuring out the attack surface. Okay.
And then they can bring that, they can expand that, or normalize the cost distribute the cost over the bounties that they.
So if you attack the thing with what's the name of the electric saw, it's going to cost X. But if you go with a scalpel, you're probably going to get much better results, and it's going to cost much less.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's the other side,
more efficient, more economic.
Yeah. Now there's the other side of the equation.
A recommendation you should always make to your doctor: go with the scalpel, not the chainsaw,
unless you're doing an amputation. But the other side of the thing is the inside of the bounty program. The moment that they start getting scalpeled by like 1,000 people, where before they had one person, now they have to deal with that 1,000 reports and figure out if they're valid or not.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been seeing a lot of work done in AI with doing the validation of the bug. I won't say the exploit, because if it exploits, then it's valid. But the validation of the report. Mm-hmm. And that goes into reachability, that goes into observability, that goes into the whole understanding the chain of events that leads you from that open port or that endpoint to somewhere in the code where bad things actually happen. Okay. So the bug bounty now is going to have to put much more automation in place that otherwise would sit with blue teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To check
so
out
there's
those
almost
reports.
Like an AI validation step needs to be added.
And that's where I say
receipt.
That I think that's where I say that bug bounties are probably going to be the first arena where we're going to have AI against AI with bugs in the middle.
Right.
So that's probably going to generate a very good industry of verification that at the end of the day, everybody is going to be able to get something from.
Is it going? Do you think it will change? Like traditional bug bounties, I think traditional bug bounties were really more about the vulnerability itself and less about the impact of that vulnerability. Do you think that in the future it will be more about the risk that's mitigated, or the risk that's identified, or the breadth of the impact, and more so than just, is this a vulnerability in code?
I think that for a long time, bug bounty teams, like not the ones inside companies, but the ones that you hire, they have had this very limited view of the thing that they are protecting. So they know if something works or doesn't.
Right.
If something gets in or doesn't, if it's bad or if it isn't. But they don't have the whole vision of saying, okay, this is how bad it is for the business. This is how bad it is for the system. This is how bad it is for the long term. So that kind of impact is still something that lives inside the company that's hiring the bug bounty service.
So to make the bug bounty valuable, in other words, to justify the payout, it sounds like that would need to be introduced into the conversation. In other words, the bug bounty clearinghouse may no longer be, maybe the bug bounty clearinghouse may no longer be necessary. Like, is Bug Crowd or HackerOne required Now, to manage a bug bounty, if you have AI that's doing the intake and doing the validation, and you can tie it to your risk management platform.
Right.
As a
So
company.
the bug bounty clearinghouse, the economics of that were that not every company can build a team that's able to replicate what they do.
Right.
The problem is that now all of a sudden we
They
can
can.
approximate that pretty well.
So I asked Claude about the increase in bug bounty submissions, and submission volume is up dramatically, in some cases 2 to 10x. The signal to noise ratio is down enough that several programs have paused or shut down entirely rather than deal with the flood.
Has it given you a reference?
There's about 7, or there's a reference from each bullet point.
Okay.
Bug Crowd said submissions more than quadrupled during a 3-week period in March 2026. So Bug Crowd's, between them and HackerOne, they pretty much own the bug bounty platform space.
So bring it back. Can we bring it back to the Linus article?
Please do.
Oh yeah, we started with that. Yeah.
Please find a way to get back there. I'd love to hear how you're going to do it.
Just that AI is a tool that is now useful, and that it's put on par with the human effort.
And just to cross that with the bug bounty verification thing, do not forget that he's not talking on a broad sense. He's talking about the Linux kernel here, which is one of the pieces of software out there that actually does write the thing that we have been saying all these years, that you have to review code before you check it in. So it's not like, oh, it's AI, let's just check it in and see what happens. No, there's a very extensive, very rigorous process of vetting the code that comes in here. So he's talking from a position where he doesn't suffer what 99.99999% of other places does, which is, hey, it's AI, let's put the code in and see what happens.
And he's in the same boat as folks like the BSDs, right? OpenBSD and FreeBSD, right? They have a very strong release engineering process, a rigid, a structured way of how changes are made, and it shows in terms of the number of exploitable vulnerabilities and things. So I guess what he's just saying is AI is a tool like your IDE used to be, and to some extent with the little dig at the human intelligence or natural intelligence, that remember when developers used to use Stack Overflow to figure out stuff? And how
now they use Notebook,
and how fallible that was. And so it's okay if you use AI, because we're doing it. And if you want to be a purist, go have at it.
Are good.
Yep.
We've pretty much solved life, the universe, and everything.
And now it's just a matter of waiting for the book to come out.
In all its infinite dimensions.
Or to see the bill that Chris gets at the end.
Yeah, let me check and see. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, wow. This isn't bad. That's the scary thing. It's not bad compared to like.
Just remember, you're only stealing from everybody else who wrote a book out there that it got trained on.
Listen, that's not my problem. I didn't do the training. Okay, it wasn't me. I'm just a New York Times best-selling author, self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed. You will, and Claude will put it there in the byline for you.
Oh, I hope.
You have to have it write a good forward and a good review page.
Oh no, I'm gonna have it have you write the forward for me.
Well, I'm just gonna use Gemini or something. So.
Have you created a skill that says speak like Matt Coles does?
I should.
I've done it on Claude. All you have to do, you
honor me, sir, that you have created a skill for me.
I have, because I want to just get Matt's take. Sometimes when I'm dealing with something, I'm like, what would Matt do? And I hit the button. And
I don't know. I'm just counting down the moments for it to say it's not Matt, it's Cesar.
It's we. We are the Borg. Well, I think we covered quite a bit of ground there.
Might have been a big circle, but yeah.
It often is.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Good things are circles, spirals. They go up. They go up.
Yeah, it's kind of a spiral too.
Yeah, we go
All
up.
right, well, folks, thanks for turning into the original, not to be confused with cheap competitors, security table.
You mean the forks?
The forks!
Our
The forks!
Our
the
podcast has been forked.
The forks! I feel forked.
Linus's statement here, we could send it to our other podcasts.
Well, they didn't like it and they forked it.
Yeah. If you,
Hey, people are more than free to not like it.
Just not fork it.
true.
But on the other hand, do you have 2 listeners, one in Australia, one in Brazil?
That's right.
We are big in the
international.
South. We are big in the South.
I'm gonna put that now on the description
Big
of the
in the Southern
podcast.
Hemisphere.
Internationally recognized. So we have listeners in 2 countries.
We are big in the South.
Yeah.
We're big somewhere. I don't know. Still waiting. The jury's still out as to where that is. I don't know. I got to check the stats again. See how we're doing.
We're going to
in
have
Australia.
to start opening with Bon dia, mate,
That's
so
true.
that we can cover both. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just give me some cue cards or something you could hold up during the opening. All right, folks, we've had enough fun. Go out there. Just gonna
Spend some
fight the good
tokens.
Fight, but yeah, spend some tokens, build some cool stuff, get your monthly recurring revenue to over $1,000, something like that. I don't know. Find the future. Look to AI. Matt,
Post on TikTok. Do something.
No, don't post on TikTok. It's actually still owned by the Chinese government last time.
Oh,
I
true,
checked,
yeah.
So don't do that. This is a security podcast, but we just can't find a way to say goodbye. So I'll do it. Goodbye.
Bye.